Okay, so now you all were making a plan, using the jail cells here as a temporary shelter. As you're thinking about what to do, you did free the. Well, I guess technically Selene was a prisoner, but there was a prisoner before Selene, and she is now free. As far as you know, none of the other creatures have come up the tunnels behind you yet? Question mark. However, they may, and I believe when we left, you're talking about going to explore the other tunnel that was over here.
We were gonna try and find a safe place to rest up, at least a little bit.
I also think before we go too much deeper, we should go back for Leica. I don't want to leave her too far behind, and if we just leave her behind, it's gonna be too hard to go back for her. So we should do that now. But we can take a quick look around the corner just to see what's there, and then we can decide.
Okay.
We have to end up killing the secretary. I'd really like to kill the secretary.
Probably not. I think we probably don't want to take Norlai with us because that would be really suspicious. But the rest of us, they think we're vampires, and in one case they're actually right. So if we can just pretend that it's a great day because Mordecai's transformation is complete and we're all really happy for him, and we have another hostage, and we'll just go back for her and we can march her through the same way we did the first time.
You think they'd go for that?
Probably.
Only one way to find out.
I'm too small to look like a troll. It would be easier if one of us could impersonate the troll, but I think we're all too small. And I was working on a spell to make us bigger, but I didn't finish it. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm tapped. I got nothing
Yeah.
left.
I'm also pretty tapped.
I don't know why I'm blanking on this, but disguise self can only state a medium-sized creature, right?
Same size creature as the one that you are. So yeah, if you're medium.
Oh well.
Because disguise self does work if you manage to cast enlarge reduce on yourself, or you're under a potion of growth or under a potion of diminution. Yeah, and you cast it. So if something's changing your size and you cast disguise self, you can disguise yourself as something of that size, of whatever size you are when you cast the spell. Means it's got some pretty cool synergy stuff with some other magical items and whatnot.
All right. Yeah.
Norlai, do you want to have any input? You might. Do you have anything to add to the discussion?
Not at the moment.
All right, you want to stay behind then while they go and peek around the corner?
Yeah, I'll stay here. It's safer.
Safer, she thinks. She thinks it's safe.
Safer. I think it's relative. It's a relative.
Relative.
Very relative.
I'm not related to her. Am I?
We're all related. Well, I'm probably not related to you because you're humans and I'm a gnome, and even though we look kind of similar, I think we just really have different ancestry. But
I
you might.
I am not a human.
But I was talking to
I'm
Jade.
not human yet, just to point out.
I'm pretty sure Jade is the human.
Tieflings are descended from humans, and humans are also descended from other humans. So probably you're related at some point, really, really far back. Probably.
A common ancestor?
Common ancestor.
Yeah, that's right.
We're getting all anthropological now.
Let's take a quick look around the corner, and Norlai can either stay here or she can come with.
All right. Bright, are you Let's or is someone else Let's?
Happy to let's. I'm probably in the best shape of everyone.
Okay.
Because I didn't get beaten up by the troll very much.
That's true. You kind of jammed out in the back of a cell and were casting spells.
Actually, Jade seems to be perfectly fine despite the beating. Might have something to do with the troll's blood.
I don't want to drink troll's blood. I think it's more important for me to not take steps down the path to a vampire.
Yeah.
Know thy enemy.
Even if it's refreshing. I still don't want to do it.
Are you stealthing, Bright, or are you just sort of teetering down the hallway?
I'm just kind of teetering down the hallway.
Okay.
I just want to look and see what's there. If it's like a long hall or short hall, I don't really want to go too far. I just want to look.
Okay. The hallway bends slightly back. So if you're as you're coming up the hallway with Billy the Troll, this would be kind of like a hairpin curve if you didn't have the option to also go into the holding cells. One second here. I want to make sure I'm... All right. So, as you're clinging to the wall and you're looking around the bend, it does look like this tunnel opens up into some sort of a... I don't want to say a cavern, but an excavated area. Like, you're actually seeing not just curvature and... you're seeing some worked rock, some hard corners up ahead. Though... You do see some glowing light, but you don't hear or see anything from this point of view that would indicate that it's occupied.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go back.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, I think it's probably just another... I don't know what's there. I couldn't really tell. It's probably another crystal cavern, kind of like we saw before. So I feel like that's probably a bigger deal. So I'd like to go back and look for light cup if we can. And then we'll see if there's anything else we can do.
Team?
Well, Bright's idea sounds as good an idea as any.
We've also got the troll's keys, so we could look behind these other doors in the places that he didn't go, but there could be monsters there, so I don't necessarily think that's a great idea. But it's also an option that we have.
We need to find somewhere safe.
Safe is good.
It's the main thing. We need to find somewhere safe, and we need to rest. And that should be our first port. After that, we can do whatever.
I'm just worried that if we take too long, Lycup will wander off, and then we won't be able to find her again. Probably the only way out of this is through, so if she wanders back, then we'll have to go all the way back and all the way back again, and it'll just be a whole big thing. So maybe, I don't want to split up, but Mordecai's in pretty good shape, and Jade and I are in pretty good shape, and probably everyone's in good shape except for you, actually, Selene. So maybe if you wanted to stay here and wait, the rest of us could go look for her if you want.
Oh no, I'm in good shape. It's just in terms of resources, I'm pretty burnt out. So although I'm in pretty good shape, I'm not in the shape to be effective in a fight.
Well, I'm hoping we won't have to fight. I'm hoping we can just talk our way past.
Where did we end up leaving her?
We left her upstairs, right at the top of the ladder in the little stream room where all the news was coming
Which
through.
Yeah.
piece?
Hmm?
Which piece of her are we talking about?
The main part. We don't care about the arms anymore.
The main part.
They're not useful.
Noralai, do you need to locate anything? They're talking about an agenda here.
Well, I don't have any of my stuff. These clothes aren't mine, and my snake's gone.
Your what's gone?
My snake. I have a snake.
Oh,
Cute.
I'm sorry you lost your snake. I'd be really sad if I lost Piggy Sue. Piggy Sue is my cricket.
Is it delicious?
if we go back,
Yes.
if we go back for Lycup, we have to pass the
You're not-
security.
Cricket. My cricket is only for chirping purposes only. Not for eating. Okay, thanks. Let's go.
We could always stab the security guy in the throat.
I like
Back
this
up, plant.
plan.
Sure.
Okay,
It's a
we'll
really
lie,
big
we'll
bug.
lie, we'll lie.
It's a really big bug, so maybe Jade could eat him.
That's if Jade wants to go down that route.
It's not clear to me what things Jade will and will not eat right now.
I mean,
So, is it agreed that we take a rest of some sort?
For Leica, just talk our way past the crickets or the insect men, and then we'll just come right back with her, and hopefully she won't freak out on the way, because she seems kind of spazzy to me. She has
Well, maybe it's because her arms got crystallized and we had to cut them off.
Before her arms got cut off, she wasn't very helpful. I'm sorry we brought her. It was a mistake. But anyway, no sense in crying about that now. Let's go back for her.
All right. Jade starts
Yeah,
to
let's
wander
go
off.
Okay, let's go this way.
All right.
Let's give her like a...
Marching order then.
We should put Mordecai in front because he's now the full vampire and he's probably likely to be seen as the highest ranking of us.
sure.
Okay.
Principal,
I
he's
suppose.
at
I
talking
suppose
to me.
I will go in the middle.
I'll go last.
I think you
Okay.
should maybe not come past the troll room just because
Oh, shoot.
to be out of your little... Where'd she go?
Oh. All right, there we go. Is this? Oh no, wait, hang on. Selene, you said you wanted to be in the middle.
That's all right.
Okay.
I'm good where I am.
All right, so you're back in this hub room that has 4 doors, and well, you know it's behind 2 of them, and you're gonna head in that direction. The this door is still open, so you can pass through it, Mordecai, with no need for athletics or stealth. Well, I mean, if you want to stealth from this point, you can, or would you like to walk boldly forward?
I think.
Let me do the talking, please.
What would you say?
Don't worry about that. It's already been determined.
Be my guest.
Okay, I guess.
Oh,
I'll back
and
you
if
up.
you would, Selene, since you're the largest, would you please be here and grab hold of the new one's arms? Hate for those to run away on her.
No, don't touch me. I'm good.
I don't want her arms to be out here or not. Oh my goodness, Jade! I think that's the troll blood talking. So I think you should maybe just relax a little.
Yeah,
That's okay.
maybe just a little bit.
Need relaxed. This is relaxed. I'd rather not get upset. Please, can we not make me upset? I don't want to be upset. Please don't.
It's like,
I just slowly wrap my tail around Celine's hand. There, I'm attached.
There you go.
Okay.
Jade proceeds to move forward.
All right.
Okay. We'll follow.
Go behind her.
Jade, when you are reaching here, you see that the 3 figures that were by the altar are standing here, and they're staring. I mean, they don't really have eyelids. Unfortunately, there's nothing really to harvest because they have these multifaceted kind of insectoid-style eyes that just sort of scintillate. But they're staring there, and their mouths are kind of moving, but they're not saying anything. But you presume that they see you approach.
That's good. Is we have nothing to hide. Jade proceeds with the group to march forward.
Holds up. All 3 of them simultaneously hold up a hand. No further. In that kind of broken, alien-sounding common. You have to see. You have to see.
we have to see after we end up gathering the second sacrifice and gain particular information, which ends up making that one she ends up gesturing towards Norelli particularly crucial in that endeavor. And since we want to end up making this as smooth and as quickly as possible for us to see, then we must end up completing the task as agreed upon. And if you intend on getting in our way, then I think that ends up making this relationship particularly rocky, now doesn't it?
The second has been collected.
It's a figure of speech, you moron.
Moron?
We have
Yes.
one more upstairs that we wish to add.
The second has been collected.
Where?
And they all point to the this one. It doesn't step back, but it kind of turns to the side and makes a gesture over towards the altar in the corner.
Is this who we're looking for?
It's Lycup.
Oh, so she's here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Then we'll end up taking that one.
No, it is
Are you
ours.
breaching the agreement? Yes or no?
The sacrifice
are
is
at this
ours.
It is yours once we have prepared. Or are you so ill-informed?
Oh.
No,
Do
we
they have
are constantly informed. If you
Clearly,
wish
a leader.
to go another way, you can bring it up with the one in charge.
Very well then. We will bring it up.
Have a
to the
leader?
one in charge.
Like
Yes.
Do they have a leader? Is one of them doing all the talking, or do they appear to be?
Oh, I thought you said just generally, do you have a leader? No, the three of them are kind
do
of
they have an apparent leader?
no, between the three of them that are here, none of them are really, like, they're all saying things almost in a coordinated fashion.
Hive mind dish, right?
It would seem so.
Okay.
Then we will take the sacrifice and meet with this individual.
The sacrifice stays.
The sacrifice moves, or this ends up turning into a horrible incident, which neither side can afford, let me remind you.
And we don't want that.
It is not our choice.
It
It
is
is
ours.
my choice. I bury my fangs.
They are not standing down to your guff and bluster.
I'm going to pick one of them. I don't know which one, and I'm going to say, I think the one in charge really would prefer if we took this sacrifice with us instead of her staying here with you. I'm really sorry, but I just think that's right.
Alrighty, looks like I'm rolling a die. What a wisdom saving throw. Well, let's see if they have any troll blood in them. So from the suggestion, there we go. Apparently, yes, they are all infused with hyper wisdom troll blood.
I don't have any more importance.
No, you don't.
Wow! Just Mordecai being screwed on the wisdom saves again.
As you suggest, like their faces just remain this kind of slightly insectoid blank, and their eyes almost seem to like whir and spin with different scintillating colors in their multifaceted surface.
We are taking that one.
What do you
This
suggest?
is not for negotiation at all. Ever. It has been, and it will be.
Is this accompanying an attack? Otherwise, they're not budging.
She's simply moving forward. She's letting them swing first because if they end up swinging first, they're in breach.
They will stop you. They're not moving. They're not letting you pass.
And what is your intention on maintaining this standoff until your husks begin to rot?
We will remain as we are told.
Then you carry that one. You say that we need to end up meeting with the one. So, if that is the case, then, and we cannot bring it, then you will. Is this acceptable?
No, you cannot have the sacrifice.
You are trying my patience. And if you end up insisting any further, then I will consider it aggression between our kinds.
I have other options. I'm going to look at one of them, and I'm going to say, why wouldn't they let the bugs into the dance? Because it was a mothball.
I'm laughing, but they're not. But it is Atasha's uncontrollable, horrible, terrible, no good, very bad, hideous laughter. And that's an excellent verbal component to it. So, well, I don't know. Maybe they will laugh. This is another save. Another wisdom saving throw. All right, let's see what happens.
Will you please stop using that loaded die, Matt?
They are invincible. Their minds are the hive mind is too strong with an 18 plus whatever they're carrying.
How many 18s has that been?
That's been 7.
I don't like these dice.
I want to use my spiky boy.
Do you want me to throw my computer in a thing of salt water to see if it floats and, you know, and doesn't, like, spin? Okay. Is my computer balanced?
Alright.
XCat wants me to roll a physical die. I don't have a third camera for that, but who knows, maybe in the future. But yeah, it's unfortunately like you tell the joke, and they all three of them just sort of like cock their heads to the side a little bit and look at you. And I'll tell you what, Norlai and Selene, as you've stayed behind in Billy's room, each of you can give me a perception.
Perception. Jeez.
Oof.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the ground for my snake.
Yeah, is it under this log, kind of rolling it out to the side a little bit? Where is this thing? Okay. Everything is fine. Everything is wonderful.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. That's right.
Let's try again. Did you hear about the dog who started a flea collar business? He started from scratch.
You were waiting for Matty to start drinking before you said that, didn't you?
All right, so this is another Tasha's uncontrollable, horrible, terrible, no good, very bad, hideous laughter. And once more, I will make a wisdom save. The troll blood is invincible. I am invincible. I hope you've been counting my pen clicks before before the liquid nitrogen tank behind me does something.
If we keep this up, they keep going down by 1, we'll eventually make a save.
So, I have more jokes, but I don't have any more spells, so we're going to have to do something else.
Well, Norlai and Selene, you don't need to roll again. From behind you, echoing slightly through the caverns behind you, you hear kind of a metallic, deep metallic guffaw. You know how people have like a gravelly voice? Well, this isn't so much like a deep and gravelly. It's more tinny or metallic, but it is still a deep sounding. And you're hearing just the faintest echo of that from behind you, from the caverns behind you.
Someone likes my jokes. It's just not the one that I wanted.
So there's a standoff in the front, and the two characters, Noralai and Selene, you heard this laughter. What do?
I'm going to hide behind Selene.
I think we should regroup. I think we should all regroup.
This is not.
I thought we were trying to end up getting a hold of our sacrifice.
I would like that too, but now I'm just running back and forth because I don't know where to go.
I want her. I want the sacrifice.
Jade looks towards Mordecai. Mordecai, you may end up seeing, for maybe an image in your head, you try and picture these three standing, except everything from under the jaw to pelvis has been folded out, like as if it's been peeled like a block of cheese.
Oh.
And Jade looks to you for confirmation.
Who is peeling a who like a block of cheese?
I don't understand
Just putting
that.
ideas in Mordecai's head. How he chooses to interpret this is entirely on him.
Let's speak with the others.
Jade looks very disappointed and nods.
He turns aside to Jade. Maybe soon.
I don't know on how much longer I have to be patient.
I understand. Believe me, I do. One more moment. And I lead them back into the other chamber.
Okay, I'll go back with her. Didn't go very well. They didn't let us take... Oh, my spells didn't work. They
Like
must be
this in
immune
the next
because they're
room.
bugs.
This is what happens when I try a non-direct route.
My cup is the one you injured, right?
The one we came down the mine with.
And
We didn't want to
we didn't so much injure her as we stopped her from being crystallized by cutting off her arms.
And then
That
taken
counts as
as a
injury.
host.
It was to save
If you
her
want
life.
to be really technical about it, then maybe.
Would you have saved her life, Norlai, no matter the cost?
Well, I don't know her, so I can't say whether or not. Like,
On a real
This
quick
is
bit,
someone-
Forsaken, because it's Forsaken's birthday, he sponsored a box. So if any of you wanted to enter the raffle, you can type in !enter, and I'll keep it going. I'll keep it open for a while so you all can still continue to roleplay. And probably after about 15-20 minutes, I'll close the raffle, and we'll pull a winner, since Forsaken wants us to celebrate his birthday, it seems, with some generosity. So thank you.
Is it just ticket one, or can I buy more than one ticket?
There's just one ticket that's available for this. You get one ticket for free by typing in !enter or !ticket. And then the shipping is technically to a U.S. address, but if you win and you're outside, we can talk about supplementing, or I can hang on to the figure until you make another order and we can ship it along with that, with something else.
No. I would suggest doing that in case I win something, because shipping to Australia unfortunately is lots of money.
Yeah. So we'll work it out if you end up winning it. All right. So anyway, everyone, you can enter the raffle. Forsaken, thank you very much, and let's hop back over to our RP session here. I'll provide a reminder when we're getting close to draw time. So I'm sorry for interrupting, but Forsaken's was being very generous for the community here.
Okay, I mean.
So we could proceed and try to get these guards out of the way
How long?
and see about saving Lyca.
Can I ask you, how long have you been down here? And did you have any sense, like, that they were going to do anything like really soon, or maybe if we had time.
I've been here. And I kind of look up and around. I don't know. I don't have a way to tell time.
Do we have a sense of the date, Maddie?
But how many like times did you take a sleep overnight while you were down here?
1 second,
I
Mordecai.
don't know. It's boring, so I take naps a lot.
Like a couple of hours,
I'm not sure.
or like a month?
What's the date?
I don't have a chronology, but we didn't create a chronology here for Mesotopia. But sure, we'll say when you ask them that and they provide you what they believe to be an accurate answer, because why would they lie to you? You've probably been down here for about a month, maybe a little bit over, actually.
Oh. Yeah, I've been here a while then. Huh.
Well, that's a pretty long time. So, maybe if we can find a place to rest, magics and things. If you've been down here a month, hopefully they won't sacrifice Lycup in the interim. Hopefully, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, they had her on some kind of desk, a pedestal, altar. I don't know.
I don't know. I've just been in that cell the whole time.
Well,
I mean, I can
wasn't
kind of
necessarily
doing
providing
that.
much of a guide.
really kind of just in the way, but she's still our responsibility because we brought her with. We have to make sure she gets out of here safely. I mean, you know, compared to her current condition, without any more harm.
We could go ask them what they intend to do with her.
Sacrifice.
I think we know she's going to be a sacrifice.
That doesn't mean anything. Does that mean to sacrifice for food? To sacrifice for this ritual?
All of those things are bad.
Perhaps the answers lie if we are to simply accept invitation.
We could try that.
We're getting nowhere talking to them.
Well, stabbing them in the throat might be an option. That was brought
Yeah,
up
the
earlier,
last time
wasn't
I
it?
tried to stab something in the throat, I died.
Get better.
I recommend just staying away from everyone.
Can't stay away. They need to burn.
As much as I would like that,
I
we
mean,
might have a
really
little bit of
need
time.
to burn.
Yes.
I think they need to burn. I'm okay with that, and I can even cast firebolts to help that. Cast anything else because I only have one spell slot left, and I'm saving it.
I don't have anything to burn with.
I don't either.
Thing at all? Oh.
Jade pulls out what appears to be.
Want me to teach you how to cast a firebolt? It's really easy. Look.
I mean, I have flasks of oil and fire and alcohol. I could probably try some of my fire breathing techniques on them.
Jade pulls out from her back, what appears to be a back pocket. Who knew that she had pockets? A piece of flint that's probably about, I'd say about 6 inches, and sharpened very well. Tipped across. Looks like a form of dagger of some sort, and offers it to Norali.
Norali?
It's going to take me a bit. But yeah, I have an extra dagger that I can offer if she can keep it pocketed.
Maybe we should find Norlai's things.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think.
perhaps.
Because if we find her things, you can cast spells, yeah?
Yeah.
sure you need your components and everything.
Okay.
Well, focus, but yeah.
You have any idea where they might be?
No.
Why don't we open these doors and see what's behind these doors? Maybe there's like a storage, like a closet.
You usually keep storages closer to the room where you keep the prisoners in order to remove their gear, so my suggestion would be northward.
No, but if we go up there, it's all weird and glowy. I don't think that's a storage room. I think it's probably more crystals or some sort of magic thing or something that's not a closet.
Very well then.
What about
The
the
door.
door here?
Okay,
No.
so I'm going to try the troll keys and see if I can open this closet door. Hopefully it's a closet door.
Okay. Well, the door does open, but I'm sorry to break your heart. It's not a closet.
Initiative?
More hallways.
There you go.
That's not what I wanted. Let's try this one.
You should lock the door before you, just in case.
Let's try this one.
All right. So with a jingle, jangle, jingle, you use Billy's keys. And sure enough, the door opens up. And you see a table with 4 chairs here, 3 of which are occupied by more of these insectoid things.
Need to remove it.
And all 3 of them just look over at you, Bright, as you've opened up the door. They look at you, and then they just go back to staring at each other without saying anything.
There's too many of them.
And then I'll close the door again.
Okay.
And I'll lock the door again with the troll key. This one's full of bugs. I don't want to go in that one.
There's too many of them.
We don't really know how tough they are. They could all be really tough, or they could all be wimpy. I'm hoping for wimpy in case we have to fight them. Why don't we try this hallway? Maybe something good is down here.
They're clearly all immune to magic, though. That's.
I think this might be like their lunchroom. I didn't see if they had like a little microwave and a refrigerator in there, but they probably do. But why don't we let's try this hall, and maybe it's
That's a
better.
microwave.
It's a gnomish invention that rock gnomes make. It's for cooking food really fast.
Cool.
Rock gnomes come up with lots of fun stuff. Their jokes aren't as funny as mine, though. Let's go.
I think I've heard of something like this.
I'm sorry, so which door were you going to again?
Try this one,
Okay,
just to see what's around the corner.
sure.
Right.
All right, so doop 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 doop. Are you stealthing, or are you just traveling
behind
slowly with your small self?
I mean, I'm not singing or anything. But
Okay.
I'm just being me.
All right.
Stealthy. Let's be stealthy.
All right.
Darn campus. No.
Practicing my freehand dungeon drawing here.
Really big closet. Closet.
Okay. There does appear to be another ledge and another ladder that is located here. And in the rest of this cavern is piles of vines and some of the mushrooms that you saw growing earlier. Here, I can I'll draw little patches of things here. So we have some little clusters of mushrooms. We have some, like, a tangle, like, it's a big pile of spaghetti over here of vines. And then there's these other kinds of mushrooms that are growing. Because there are two kinds, Mordecai. You recognize them each from the rooms that were in the level above. So in the lower area here, there seems to be vegetation and some other things. That there's patches of grass. That are growing even in this cave. The mushrooms are giving off a bit of an odd light as well. And then there's the wooden ladder up to a ledge that then continues to go out of this room.
Okay. It's not a closet.
Yeah.
These ways are bad. Except maybe the break room.
Well, like Jade said, the room nearest the cells might
We
be.
could try over there. Let's go over there and look.
All right.
Okay, so which area now are you at? Oh, yeah,
maybe we can
you're going back that way? All right,
Yeah.
so Bright's in the lead. Then a Mordecai, and then a Jade.
Healthy for this one. I suspect that something could be going on down here.
Selene and Norlai, are you staying in the central room, or are you following the group?
I'll stay with Selene. So whatever Selene wants to do.
Selene?
Right now, I don't think.
Oh, is he, I see his sound only up, but, I'm not hearing you, Lethality. I see you even chatting in, I see the green ring in Discord. Nothing's coming through, though. So, I don't know if, is your mute accidentally, or is your mic accidentally muted? Otherwise, you could type in chat and, as you're figuring out what's going on.
It says, "Give me a second, Discord."
Okay. Okay, it looks like Selene went up to view the rest of you, so we're going to put Noralai, as she's kind of being led by the tail, even though it's behind her. I'll let you figure out the physics of that.
I have a pretty long tail. It's just kind of like draped around the side.
Okay. As you are peering down, gets a little craggy here, and this is where we start seeing there are some better cut corners here. All right. There is nobody and nothing in this part of the chamber that you can see. However, it seemed to extend beyond this lip that's down here.
Would like to be stealthy, and then I'll come on down to here or so. Can I
Okay.
stealth first?
So go ahead and roll stealth then. All right.
Better.
And now you get to see the rest of the chamber.
Okay, so does that fix it?
Yes.
That's better.
Welcome back.
Yeah, no, I think it swapped my default mic there for a second.
Aha.
So let me just refresh the page, and I should be good to go.
Hey, I can see you now.
There we go.
Yep, I can see you. I'll drag you back into place. There we go.
Cool. Okay. Right. That's fixed. Right.
All right, Bright, as you're tiptoeing into this room, this one has been excavated from the rock, and there are carvings of a dragon on the far wall over here. And the dragon has been filled in with some kind of, maybe like glitter, either that or maybe very small shiny rocks or something, or a glowy paint. But there is a mural of a dragon that is on this wall here. There we go. It's kind of like a Trogdor.
Come on in.
Rex with wings.
Look, does it remind you of anyone?
And
It reminds me of Kazray.
it has a bluish, it's like as if someone made this or drew it and then put a bunch of glue in the wall and put a bunch of blue sparkles on the dragon. And there's kind of a green glow coming from the chamber up this way. Greenish, bluish.
Okay. I would feel better if the rest of the party would come in with me instead of leaving me alone all out here.
Yep.
Also, so what do we have? Like, what are these things?
That appears to be a bed, and over here is some kind of a footlocker.
Look, it's a locker. It might have Norlai's things in it, although probably not, because it's probably like a bedroom. Is it like a really giant bed?
For you, it would be. For others, it would just be a normal bed.
A troll-sized bed.
Not a troll-sized bed.
So, anyone know how to open this locker? Does it have anything that looks like it would fit the keys that I stole from Billy?
No. Billy's keys are not this size.
Would thaumaturgy work?
Not to unlock a lock. Maybe if you want to set the chest on fire.
Do we know that it's... Well, we know it's...
Seems kind of risky.
Yeah.
Does anyone... I don't suppose anyone happens to know how to pick a lock.
Sadly, I do not.
Why go through the lock when you can go through the hinges?
Let me have a look.
I would also like to just peek around this corner. Just like that. And see what I can see.
Sure.
No.
All right, let's get... I like this color.
There's a big Yellow Pages logo in this room.
And this kind of narrows out like that. Okay. You can see that there's some kind of a little pond in the middle of a room. And all along the floor is a glowing green, blue, or I guess we're having a discussion about teal in the chat. Like a teal or a cyan, perhaps, or a turquoise or an aquamarine or a green blue or a blue green, if you will.
Also forgot chartreuse.
Oh, chartreuse. Well, no, wait, chartreuse is more of like a pinkish purple, isn't it?
Chartreuse is like a vomit green.
Oh, vomit green? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I was thinking of mauve. So anyway, all the floor here is kind of an algae that is glowing, and then there is some kind of a dark pond in the middle of the room, and that is what you get a quick peek of as you are going around the corner.
There just yet. It's full of those things he said. I'm gonna try to open this footlocker. Do you know how to do that? Things in it. That would be really handy right now.
We can certainly try. Selene, did you say that you were going to see about opening the footlocker, or?
I mean, I could try if Matty will let me make a sleight of hand check for it, but otherwise.
What tool are you using?
That isn't a tool, it's just a base sleight of hand.
Okay. Well, your finger wouldn't really be able to fit inside the keyhole to wiggle around in there. So you'd have to employ something if you want to be a little bit more dexterous about it. Otherwise, you're going to be sort of like brute forcing this thing.
I'm gonna have to brute force it.
I
Okay.
could use my shovel to try and brute force it.
Bobby pins.
You would have more luck with that than I would.
Would I?
What is your, tell me, do you have a strength higher than 8?
Nope. I'm a very dexterous boy. I'm not a very strong one.
I'm also, I'm a very dexterous gully.
Jade goes
Jade
up
this
to
hole's
it.
gonna have to do it.
Yeah. Jade comes over, and we end up picking up a whole bunch of gear, so I got a crowbar with me. She pulls out, it maybe pulls out of her hair like as if it's some kind of pin.
Okay.
Starts walking up to it, and she
Okay,
first
Bobby pin.
she's gonna start. First, she's checking like, is there a mechanism here? Maybe the better angle. Maybe
Perception?
Dart. Looks fine to me.
It looks absolutely bread and butter lock. Yes.
This is an athletics check, right?
Yeah, you said you're gonna try and pop the. Wait, are you popping the hinges, or was that the old plan?
That was just a suggestion. because-
Okay.
But with a crowbar, it's typically easier to pop the lock than it is to pop the hinges. That being said, since with a crowbar, is there any bonuses with that, or is it just a pragmatic? This allows the roll.
So a crowbar wouldn't really be. Well, I guess you could try and just bash at the lock and see if you can't, foul up the smaller metal bits that are inside it, keeping it closed. Or you could just try and bash through the wooden chest itself and ignore the iron clasp and the bands that are holding it.
I think it's more likely that we're gonna need to go. Jade taps the wood. Does it seem particularly thick?
It sounds solid. Maybe a couple inches.
Lock it is. And I'd like to spend my inspiration.
Okay. Then make an athletics as you're bashing about the lock. Nice. All right. So you spend your inspiration, and Jade is just sort of like delicately tapping, listening, calculating, and then you find that sweet spot, and then just a savage kadoom right against the lock, and you make a dent. Some sparks fly as metal on metal just katangs, and you've put a significant dent. And some damage into the chest. It doesn't pop open or fall apart, but you know what, Jade? You're content with that hit.
So at this point, Jade just lifts the lid, like as if it will just naturally come open.
Sure. Go ahead and make one more athletics, as there are a couple little pieces that are still holding. Okay.
Oh, no.
And you have a splinter in your hand as it slips off the side of the chest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well,
So, with that,
Drinking your own blood doesn't regenerate you, by the way.
No.
Infinite combo!
No, infinite combo attack. But no. At this point, that Selene is going to come over to the footlocker.
Uh-huh.
And in her general rage, because she's about done with everything today,
Okay.
she's going to attempt to basically kick the thing open.
Sure. You're going to go
I'm
over
gonna
and...
use that inspiration point we gained last session to gain advantage on the athletics check.
All right. Nice.
Yeah!
All right, so Selene comes over, probably has a couple choice words for this inanimate object, reels her foot back, and with a solid against the side, it pops open. And for a moment, you actually see a very nice glow, kind of similar to the glow that's behind you. But I need both of you to make dexterity saves, please.
Oh no. Celine's invulnerable because she's
Clearly.
Dex and con saves!
All right.
I'm not even...
Selene, you duck out of the way. Jade, as you're there, and just as you got this wooden splinter out of your hand, you know, Selene kicks the chest. It pops open, and there's a bright flash. And as you look down, okay, that's not too bad. You take 2 points of piercing damage as you look down, and there's one of these glowing crystal shards in you.
Oh no.
Jade quickly grabs hold of the shard, plucks it out,
Uh-huh.
hucks it to the ground.
Okay.
It's not spreading.
No.
Probably because you're the opposite.
Fascinating. Jade starts to nurse the wound that I imagine is in her shoulder or something, because if you're going to take a bullet, take it in the shoulder. And she just kind of leers over the chest like, what the heck is in this thing?
What is inside appears to be some sort of a mechanism with a spring. Presumably this mechanism was created for the sole purpose of ejecting crystals into people who open chests.
Is this a booby trap chest with nothing in it except the booby trap?
That's the worst kind of chest.
I'm going to stab whoever made this chest.
I think we already did.
He's over here.
I'm going to stab the
This guy.
floor.
I think the corpse
He
is
just runs
gone
back.
now.
So I would like to come over and go through this bed and see if there's anything under, or maybe in the sheets or under the mattress or anything like that.
All right. Real quick, Dr. Doomman, thank you very much for re-upping your subscription. I very much appreciate that for your support and for you being a part of the community in that way. All right. You want to make a perception, or are you just going to ruffle around the bed?
Well, if I need to make perception, then I'll do that.
If you're looking, then yeah, go ahead. I won't stop you from picking up a pillow. You don't need a... Oh. This appears to be a very normal bed in every single possible way, Bright.
Well, whoever's hurt the most or needs the most rest, maybe they could sleep in here. I think it looks really comfortable. And
Yeah.
I was going to look for other things, but it just looks so comfortable, I just decided not to for some reason.
Excellent craftsmanship. It does look very, very comfy.
Very nice.
I would also like to look at this dragon and see if there's anything that catches my eye, if it looks like it might be magical. I can always take 10 minutes, but I don't really want to spend 10 minutes. Just take 10 minutes, or I don't really want to spend 10 minutes.
Well,
I think I'll just...
you tell me.
I'll just look.
All right, you're
I
just
think I'll
looking?
look and see if there's anything odd about it, or who maybe...
Sure. So the description being what it is, unless you're going to use a spell or a special sense, do you want to try and route to think about this in an arcane fashion, through history, through nature? Would you like to filter this knowledge in some way?
Not nature. History and magic are both things that I know a lot about. So let's say history for this one.
Okay.
Just to see if it might come up that way. Oh no.
Okay. Well, with a 10 history, you're slightly distracted, right? There's all this like glitter and sparkly stuff, this magnificent blue sparkly dragon. Bright's eyes are just big wobbly gnome, saucers. And even though you might be at least slightly enraptured by what's before you, your mind drifts to that tunnel that you walk through, with the Fey inscription that was almost acting out in some hallucinatory or illusory fashion what was going on at the time of the, it was like a timeline you were walking down. And this big figure seems to be, you're scratching your pink noggin here. Maybe there was a figure like this that was in that tunnel. It seems kind of familiar, but oh, is this thing pretty.
What is it, Piggy Sue? Do you have something?
It's just kind of like rummaging around in your hair and just chirping happily.
Okay. Well, she's not saying anything though. Okay. I'm out of things to try. Someone else think of things now. I'm tired of thinking.
I got stabbed. I want to do it again.
What?
It's at this point, Jade is going to move a little bit closer to the pond. She doesn't step into the room, but she just kind of looks at it and begins to study it a bit.
Okay.
Do we require knowledge nature to give it a shot?
Are you trying to study the algae, or?
Well, as far as Jade is concerned, the algae is a direct result of the water, but usually algae is to stay in water. If I understand this correctly, what we're seeing is algae on solid ground.
Yes.
Of some sort.
It does look wet,
further
but
away.
you're not. There is a pond, but there's not flowing water.
No flowing water from the walls, nothing like that.
No, there's just this static pond. Like I put ripples to make it stand out for you on the map, but the water is it's dark and flat. And then algae just covers the cavern here. With the angle that you're at, you do see. You do see kind of a yellow metallic, not really a glow, but a shimmer in the one side of the cavern.
But if I step any further, I'm going to be stepping into that algae.
Correct. Yes.
Well, only one way in. A bed that's at the ready. If there's any place to rest.
Yeah, I think this is as good a place to rest as any, honestly. Considering there's already a bed here.
I don't know if we should have Mordecai take a watch.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have a pulse now. Does he need sleep?
But
I was going to ask you that, Selene.
Well, in my experience with the undead, of which I do have a large amount of experience, usually undead don't require sleep. At all. vampires, I believe, if they are severely injured, they must rest in their resting place. But you have not been injured since turning, so
Does he have a resting place?
No,
I
Do
don't
we need
know.
to build him a coffin?
do I
I
need
think
one?
Because you would get so much pleasure out of that, Jade.
that whole vampire sleeping in coffins thing is, I think it's a myth.
We better build him one just to be sure.
Well, not from what I've seen. Vampires like resting in coffins, mainly because it is a way to get closer to the ground in which they
So-
must lie.
So they enjoy sleeping in boxes with large fangs in the
Yeah.
front. Yes, they're cats.
I don't. We've cracked the code. Vampires are cats.
Dark Wolf, I'm so glad you caught on to what I was getting to.
Well, I just don't know what to expect.
Do you feel a need to climb onto high places?
Or sit on things that
No.
shouldn't be sat on.
Not really.
Small things you don't want to scatter around on the floor.
I mean, I was
Maybe
teasing
change-
Tazray that way.
Destroy antique furniture? Does that appeal to you now? Peeing on the carpet?
Do you need to be anymore?
I don't know.
You feel the need to dig
I don't really
inside.
have the urge at the moment. These are all
This
questions that
conversation
I
is
would
very
love to have a
dangerous.
conversation about because I, for one, need to know what to expect. So any advice, Selene, that you have in regards to vampirism, I'd love to know it. I don't know anything. I mean, yeah, I've traveled most of Mesomasca, but nothing like this in my travels.
Wow.
I have
Jade,
been far and wide and learned very many a thing. Maybe I might be able to share with you some of my wisdom regarding vampires.
Can I ask, the ledge and the ladder that was in the room with all the weird moss and stuff
Yeah.
in it, and was that going up or going down?
Up. It was going up to a ledge, and then the ledge curved around the back of the cavern and led to another passage.
I want to go there. But if it went down, I thought maybe if it went down, we could like tunnel under and get to the altar from below. But I think it would be easier just to rest and see if we all feel better in the morning, and then maybe we can kill those bug people and take Leica back if she lives long enough.
Jade at this point literally sits on her backside, rests her head against the stone, and simply closes her eyes as though she's already made the decision.
So I don't know if we should let Mordecai take a watch, because I don't know like what's going to happen to him. I think we should kind of watch him and see if he like needs to sleep or if he doesn't need to sleep or any of those things. But I'll take one. I'll take the first one, and then maybe Noralai would be willing to take one. That would be nice. And then and then maybe that. Selene, do you need?
I will take the last watch. That's fine.
Okay. Do you need 4 hours of sleep or 8? I don't remember for you.
Well, I mean, in terms of a long rest, the minimum sleep you can get is 6 hours and then 2 hours of light activity. So
Okay.
I do need those 6 hours of sleep.
I'll take the first watch then, and
You could spend it studying your spellbook.
well, I'm gonna have to study my spellbook after I'm done resting too. But I'll spend this time. I have lots of things to write in it, and I might even cast a spell. I might cast 2 spells.
All right.
So, if I'm taking the first watch, I want to talk to my little cricket.
Mm-hmm.
So, Peggy Sue, I have something that I want to talk to you about because I've learned a new spell, and I think it could be a big deal for both of us.
Really? Really?
So I know that crickets. So crickets don't live very long, and I know that crickets only live like 1 or 2 months, and you probably already have some arthropods, and you're probably already starting to feel kind of old. So I can cast a spell, and then you'll live as long as me. And that could be like 400 more years, or it could also just be a day. I don't really know, but probably closer to the longer of those, I hope. And so, but it means more things other than just you living a long time. It means we'll be together all the time, and it also means that sometimes I'll need to ask you to do things for me, and you'll have to do them. You can't refuse anymore. If I tell you to do something, even if it's scary or dangerous, you'll still have to do it. But there's a good side, and that is that if you get squished, and you'll probably get squished sometimes, but if you get squished, I can bring you right back to life, and it might hurt a little, but you'll still get better. And also, I get to be able to change you into other things. So I could, like, maybe I could turn you into a bird sometimes, or some other animals. It would just be really kind of handy. And you'd be able to do all those things, and that's the trade. We'll just be like super extra best friends instead of just regular friends. Does that sound like fun for you?
Peggy Sue rubs her back legs contemplatively. So instead of a normal chin scratch here, you just hear an equivalent except with cricket noises every time that it's thinking here. Accept.
That makes me really happy. So I also want to let you know that I know your secret, that I did some thinking, and I realized that girl crickets don't know how to chirp. So I figured out, and also you don't have an ovipositor. Look, you only have the 2 little things in the back, and I know that real girl crickets have 3. So I know that you're actually a boy cricket who's just pretending to be a girl cricket, and I don't know why anyone would do a thing like that. Maybe for a game or something, I don't really know. But I just want to tell you that your secret is safe with me, and I don't think any of the others have figured it out. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the first hour and 10 minutes of my watch, and I'm going to go ahead and cast Find Familiar on little Peggy Sue.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to turn her into a frog.
Okay. For that ritual, you need you need a brazier of some kind, or what's involved?
Okay, so PHB says that I have to buy 10 GP worth of incense, which I've done.
Okay.
And it also says that I'm supposed to burn it in a brazier.
Okay.
But then it also says if you have your focus, you don't need non-cost specified components, and the brazier does not have a cost specified. So,
okay.
It's however you want to rule it. I intended to buy the component that I needed to cast the spell. So I would be bummed if, there's another component that you need and you didn't buy it.
No, not necessarily. I knew that it did. It recommended that it said that it involved a brazier. In that case, I'm open-minded. Describe the ritual. Then you have the incense, you have the cricket, and you have the magic. Take us through the process.
Just gonna pile the incense in a little pile on top of the little the booby trap thing. Okay, someone's probably sleeping in the bed. I don't know who, but it's not me. Okay, and Peggy Sue, this is the hard part for you, and I know it's really gonna hurt, but you won't even hardly notice it after the first time. So what you have to do is you have to hop into the pile of incense. Just hippity hop right into the pile, and then I'm going to set it on fire, and you're going to be in the fire with it. But it won't hurt, maybe just for a second or two, but past that, it won't hurt at all. And then you'll start to feel better, and you'll feel energized. And then then you'll transform. Kind of like when you transform from a larva into a grown-up cricket, it'll be kind of like that, except this time you'll be a frog.
The antennas, you can hear that it's quivering. It's making little chirps as its nervous body is contemplating everything that you're saying here. But it is not producing words. It's just sort of it's alert and kind of shaking in a concerned fashion, and it kind of like is looking at you, looks at the pile, looks at you.
No, It's going to be really scary, but this is only the first time that I'm going to ask you to do scary things. It's going to be like this a lot, but I promise you that it won't hurt, and you're going to be okay.
All right, so you're able to speak to it using your forest gnome ability here. I'm not necessarily looking for a tremendously high number, but go ahead and roll some kind of a social skill to coax it or to deceive it, or however you'd like to approach it to get it to go into the component pile for a quick poof.
Didn't roll very well.
Okay. It's looking, and with eventually, its antenna just kind of sag down, and instead of jumping, it just sort of like crawls down your arm, crawls down your leg if it's not already done that, and it just sort of like goes into the pile, and then it covers itself with its antennas are all kind of curled up, and it's quaking on the incense pile here.
Okay, I'm sorry, Peggy Sue, that you're scared. But I promise it won't hurt, okay? Then I light the fire with prestidigitation. Boom.
Peggy Sue, the cricket, is no more. And you said that you're going to go for a frog or a toad in this case.
Yeah, I'm going for a frog right now. Though
yeah.
We'll go back to the cricket later. But for just this one time, it'll be a frog.
Okay. All right. So there's a moment, and Bright, maybe the hesitation, maybe the emotion might have caused something. For a panicked second, you're wondering what's going on. I did the calculations. Everything should be, and then. Poof! A frog appears.
Okay. I don't have a frog stuffed animal. I have this little dragon.
Same family, right? I mean, just a few extra steps.
It's the best I can do right now. I wasn't expecting a frog.
Guys.
You could turn into a lizard.
So, here she is. Hello. Do you feel okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So I have to admit, I did like your other voice better. So I'll turn you back into a cricket just as quick as I can. But we need the frog because there's some water stuff, and crickets aren't very good in water, but frogs are. So I'm really sorry about this. But we'll change you right back just as quick as we can. And also, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. So now I would like to take the rest of the hour that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and cast Mage Armor, just in case something happens while I'm asleep. And that's my last spell slot for now.
Okay. So Bright cloaks herself in shimmering armor and decides to put her feet up for a well-earned rest.
Because I want to have Peggy Sue go ahead and hop around and do one thing, because I can telepathically control her as long as she's within 100 feet. And so I would like her to be very, very quiet and just hippity hop right down here and see what she can see.
Okay. I will let you know in one moment here, as you all are going to be resting, possibly doing a shift change. And I need to find something muy rapido here. Okay, here we go. All of you, at some point in time, while the ritual's happening, maybe right afterwards, there's magic going around, you're tired, you're sore, things have happened, and it could even be a waking dream. It's difficult to tell, but another vision falls upon you. In this case, you all are standing now at the base of a mountain, though unfortunately it doesn't feel like you're actually freed from the mine. There's lovely evergreens around you, and as you look at the peak of the mountain, there's snow glistening under the sun. But you hear a rumble, and the mountain begins to quake. It crumbles and collapses in on itself. And as the mountain crumbles, rocks are rolling and falling and tumbling towards you. And just as you are about to get squished, you wake up. All of you resume what you were doing, but all of you had this moment. All of you had this vision.
Oh no, it's rocks fall, everyone dies.
Hey, I don't feel any more dead than before, though, so I don't think it was really rocks.
Yes, in your expert opinion of being a living creature, you are still alive.
Okay.
Mordecai, look, we gotta talk.
Stop picking on the living impaired.
Who was up on second watch?
I think I was.
All right, Norlai. Real quick, I'm going to pop this box open for Pneumonica, who won the raffle. So congratulations to you, and thank you to Forsaken, who is celebrating his birthday through generosity and sponsoring a box for the community that Pneumonica ended up winning. So Pneumonica, I will reveal to you the contents of the box, and you can choose one of the minis. And I can either hang on to it if you want to make it a bigger order to send, or I can send the lone mini out to you.
While you're doing that, I'll be right back.
All right.
And I want to get my recon from my frog.
Yes. Yep. I'll provide that for you then too, as it goes off on its epic first journey as a frog. Fortunately, it's used to kind of bouncing around, so it doesn't take too long for it to find its frog legs, and you just get this like wet plop, blip, 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 as it like wet slaps and plops all the way down the hallway until you can't hear it any further. After a little bit of time, it's not the quickest creature, but he's making all due haste. Let's see, it's a telepathic, or do you see through its eyes? I forget which one it is.
I get both.
Both?
I can see through its senses, and I can telepathically give it commands.
That's right. You lose your own senses, but you project your or you like occupy or possess your familiar.
I'm gonna kind of go back and forth because I'm still on watch.
Okay. So when it gets into place, the three figures haven't moved, though they still appear living. They'll kind of slightly sway, and their mouths occasionally move in the snippets that you're seeing them.
Oh, they're still here.
Yeah, they're still standing exactly where you left them.
Was the frog able to see to the altar if Lycup is there?
Make a perception through your frog in order for it to be able to tell. It's kind of low to the ground, so it might need to do some clever looking around, or otherwise kind of maneuvering or catching a lucky hop. All right, so Peggy Sue got a 12 in perception. It does look like that there's a figure on the altar, and you can see it, although it does appear to be crystalline in nature.
Cut her arms off for nothing. Needed to know. Poof.
Whip, and it disappears.
And then she can reappear back here to me.
Okay.
I forgot to tell you that that's a thing that we're going to be able to do now. I can also make you disappear, and I can teleport you, but I can only teleport you back to me. I can't teleport you away, only back to me. So,
look, see, just like one eye blinks and then the other one blinks.
To tell you about that part, I'm sorry, but I bet it's kind of fun, because I know when I learned to teleport, it was really fun. Only been able to do it a few times, but it's fun. What do you think?
I'm back.
Pneumatica provided you a fun little song for Peggy Sue as well. Pneumatica, real quick, let me show you what you got here, and then we'll come back to things. You have opened up. Well, I guess I've opened up on your behalf an apprentice wizard, the blue one with the wand. As well, we have popped open a Cambion devil wielding a weapon. Cambion devil, an apprentice wizard, a were-rat wearing a gray tunic, or lastly but not leastly is the piece, let me find it. Oh, snap. Or, Pneumatica, would you like a devourer? It is a large rare piece. If I recall correctly, it puts someone inside its ribcage and sort of eats its soul for a little while for food. But I'd have to look in the monster manual for that. So, Pneumatica, let me know which one you want. The Cambion, the Apprentice Wizard, the Were-Rat, or the Devourer. And then let me know in a name and address I can send it to privately. Through Discord or whatever. But, send it to me on the side. And what you'd like to do, if you want me to ship it first thing or to wait. Alright. So, Peggy Sue, you explain this whole new world to Peggy Sue. And you say, don't you dare close your eyes, but it just can't seem to help it. It's got to keep its eyeballs wet. Now that Noralai is returned, I guess we'll kind of catch up in time here. Noralai, there's, this frog just isn't making anything easier for you as you have this snake. And, well, you're supposed to have a snake, but you don't currently have it. But you're on watch, and would you like to look around while you're on watch?
Sure. Let's roll perception.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a quick question, Matty. Have I been able to sleep?
To sleep, you don't feel tired. I mean, you're able to rest in so much that you don't have to move, but you do not feel tired.
I'm just like staring down at the ground looking for my snake. I'm not paying attention, man.
And yeah. Could it be in the algae? Could it be under the bed? It could be in a lot of places. Pneumatica, you want to keep the Devourer because that's the type of company you keep? Oh my. Well, remind me not to come over for dinner. Alright, so just let me know how to get that over to you. I'm going to grab... I meant to grab it before the stream, but I actually have something for this part, so give me just like 1 second. It's in the room right outside of where I broadcast. So I will come back with what you don't see, Lorelei.
But I don't see. Super cool.
Okay, I have returned. It was on one of my my bookshelves in the library, or at least the room that I call the library, and I forgot to grab it on the way in. All right, so Lorelei, actually, you all put your minis. Where are you? Where you are, or place yourselves where you are when you're taking this rest.
I'll just sleep over here in the corner, next to the bed, and under this dragon.
Okay.
I like the dragon, it's shiny.
Yes, indeed.
The bed. I'm used to sleeping on the ground.
There we go.
All right, so you all are resting. Now, by this point in time, all of you would have had at least a short rest. So, for anything that might recharge on a short rest, bada boom, there you go. Forget about it. Pneumatica. Yeah, no problem, Pneumatica. Whatever is convenient. I'll hang on to it in the meantime. So, Noralei, you're looking for your snake. and as you do, the very faint glow of the room ahead of you begins to dim. And you don't seem to notice it at first, but you're looking and it's darker, and then you do that take, where you're down and then you look up slowly. And what you see, well, I'll play to this camera first, is a head. I gotta do this like a miniature or something to get it to focus. Peeking around the side. In fact, like the head is on a long neck that's curving. So that the head, like the snoot, is right here behind you. Well, it's probably right here at the edge behind you. And then the neck goes further back and whoops. Oh no, really? Am I disconnecting? Really? Am I back? Maybe.
Hey, there it goes.
Hey, here I am.
You had a random boop.
Wow, I immediately looked over to my router and it was still showing that everything is fine. I have no idea what just happened.
Sometimes random dips happen.
Stuff happened for me too.
Uncanny.
You end up
This campaign is cursed, guys. It's cursed, but we can't stop here. We have to complete the ceremony. Oh gosh.
Good.
Oh, delicious.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. I'm gonna have to.
Let me
I'm gonna have to
Okay.
refresh the stream here. So did you get to see at all what I was putting in front of the camera or hear the description?
I saw like the face of it, but I didn't hear the name or the description.
All right. Yeah, welcome back. Thank you, Pneumonica. King is passing around the blame for this. Of course, it looks like Brawl Player started it first. All right, let me get back to where we were then, and I will re-offer the description as we're in the room. All right, yes. All right, so Lorelei, you're scrounging around. You say, well, the snake could be anywhere. Well, Fluffy, you have survived. I've lost everyone else's video feed but yours, so you win! Yay!
He's a sole survivor.
Wow.
I can try resetting. Can you all see? Oh, okay, there we go. I see a Derek now.
I had to refresh.
Gotcha. Yeah, 12 for 10 cents. Reboot.
Did you check the cables?
Is my computer plugged in? All right. It looks like
You can off and back on again.
you all have loaded back in. Except for lethality, I see sound only, but I do hear you at least.
There he is.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Yep. All right.
No good.
So
I can hear you, Dark Wolf, but I can't hear Matty through Discord. I can only hear him through the stream.
Really? Because I can hear Matty through Discord.
oh, I'm showing activity on Discord, and I shouldn't be broadcasting audio through the stream. I should be on video only. Odd. All right, hang on. Let me see here.
You guys all sure you're hearing him through Discord and not through the stream?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I can hear him
100%
My
live.
stream's muted.
I
My stream's
Too.
muted.
That's why.
yeah, I can
hear him.
see myself. The green ring on Discord is showing up, and I can see you all talking on Discord as well. And I have the setting. I want to broadcast to others video only, and I want to receive from others video only. Okay,
Yeah, no, that
good.
should do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I can hear you through Discord now. Could you say something?
Yeah. Hello, hello. It's
Roll
me.
call.
Okay.
Is it me you're
I don't
looking
know why
for?
I have to reconnect for that, but I guess that's just the way it is.
Aha! So Bright was the sole survivor, but it was her the whole time that was the murderer. The internet lights go off, and when it comes back on,
Praise the machine god.
It's all an act. I'm actually a cold-blooded killer. Sorry.
there's probably some kind of a betting pool on the side for that.
Okay. So you were showing us the dragon head,
Yes.
and we could see it just a little.
Okay,
I really
so
want to fight it. So I'm going to go ahead and roll a hit die since we're getting a short rest.
yep, that's fine.
I haven't had a short rest. I have a.
Yes, this has been at least an hour that has passed.
No, it is okay.
Yep,
I get my
Nice.
channel divinity back.
there you go.
9.
I'm gonna be big help.
I
'cause
only needed
get
the first-
nothing back.
Not yet, anyway.
Okay. So, oh my. Hey, you still got some hit points back, Norlai.
Oh, double that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
Bare minimum is better than nothing. By a little bit. All right, so Norlai, like you do that take as a head on a long neck is peering around and is looking down at you. As you look up at it from trying to find your pet snake. And as you're very up close and personal, you can see that this thing it has a scintillating blue coat to it, but underneath you swear that it would be made out of scrap, out of pieces of lumber, out of gears and pulleys and all kinds of things that you would find in a mine. In its mouth appear to be maybe repurposed mining picks for teeth, things along those lines. The exception to this is that its eyes are that same kind of scintillating, multifaceted color that you are seeing in the other denizens of this place. And as you make eye contact with it, and it's making eye contact presumably with you, would you like to say anything or do anything, Norlai?
Goodbye. I missed you, step away.
Okay, so you tell it goodbye, and you're are you running? Are you just stepping? What are you doing? Oh, all right then. So you are stepping. It's just a very misty step.
Where is he in relation to me?
Here.
I would like a token for him, please.
Sure. I will go grab. Da, 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 da.
I think I can get
A
there.
token.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's a really big token.
It is.
Yikes.
And you, so Norlai just sort of poof, disappears in a silvery mist and reappears elsewhere.
You can right-click the token and move it to the front so that it's on top of the algae instead of underneath.
Yeah. Nope, wrong one. Oh, what has science done?
You probably moved it to the GM.
I did. I am literally the worst, and figuratively the worst, as we're going by what we did in Evoland. Okay, GM layer, map layer.
No, you want it on the token layer.
It was on the token layer.
But there's, sorry, back to regular voice.
That's fine.
There's a, like you can also choose move to front and move to back. They're like 2 front and 2 back.
Oh.
Or something like that.
Oh, there we go. Alrighty.
Right.
Yay.
That's what we wanted. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I got to learn this. It's a process. All right, so yes, standing in the bottleneck is some kind of it is a bluish dragon. It does kind of glow and scintillate, though it appears to be made of different sorts of gears, bits, bobs, pieces of metal, pieces of wood. There's probably even some rock in there, and it has this kind of has this blue algae covering, and more specifically blue, so that it seems to represent the picture that Bright is clearly not worshipping. Noralai steps out, and what happens?
I don't know if I'm awake or not.
Probably not, because you just did that ceremony. You're quite content. Noralai, are you just quietly getting out of there, or are you making a ruckus or a fuss?
I will probably say, guys, wake up! Something big, wake up!
I'm awake.
Well, Mordecai, that's what you see. Big ol' a big old like mine dragon covered in blue algae is staring at you from the bottleneck.
It doesn't look like it can get through the bottleneck, does it?
As it is, no. It appears like maybe its head on its long neck might be able to kind of snap out, but its body appears to be too big.
And it's made of mechanisms?
Yeah, you're seeing gears and pulleys, ropes, pieces of wood, mining picks, barrel bands, nails, all kinds of stuff. Seemingly has been cobbled together, and is covered in a blue glowing algae.
And it's just sitting there?
Yeah, it's during Noralai's watch, it has crept up, and it is there staring at what it can. So therefore, Bright, you, and Selene, because Noralai and Jade are no longer in view.
Yes.
We should go.
I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna look at this thing and I'm just gonna be like, not even a little sleep. Not even a little. Just
nope. It doesn't look like it can get through this bottleneck. I think we're okay for now.
I'm going back to sleep.
I'm gonna keep watching it, make sure just to see what it does.
Sure.
Jade is looking at everybody else confused, having no idea what's around the corner.
Apparently nothing too important. Bright is just is snoozing away.
I think we're gonna be okay.
Still, Selene, what Selene is gonna do is Selene is gonna move over into this corner, and then she's gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay up and watch it.
Okay. Are you like a staring contest?
Why are you waking
Kinda.
me up?
All right.
There's something on the other side. Don't worry about it. I'll keep an eye on it.
It's scary.
It's a machine.
It's a scary machine.
It's still a machine. Powered by something. It's not going to get through this bottleneck unless it wants to, like, bring down the whole cave.
Don't give it ideas.
If it can
Can I tell and see if it has a power source of any kind?
You can make a perception from where you're at, yeah.
Hey, look, it's a vampire.
Would this count as my knack? Because it's a machine, or it looks like a machine anyway.
What was your background skill?
Tinkered mechanisms.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's fine.
So I can roll this with advantage.
You roll it with advantage, but not proficiency. And
Okay,
I presume
so-
you want to, you want this to be an int-based one? Or what are you, how do you want to filter this? You
either
tell
an
me.
Investigation, like probably an investigation check, yeah. I'm not proficient in that.
Okay, so you can use your background skill based off of intelligence and roll at advantage, just not proficiency.
So just an intelligence check.
Yeah, so it'd be intelligence at advantage because of this unique circumstance.
Okay. 18.
Hey, there you go. All right, Mordecai, as you're examining this thing, number one, you're getting the feeling that it's examining you back, even though it's not really moving, save for its eyes that kind of glisten and spin in their multifacetedness. And two, it is a conglomeration of parts that appears to be a dragon, although it doesn't make sense in an engineering, from an engineering standpoint. In other words, it has shoulders, it has wings, but they don't, in your opinion, seem connected, or at least they're not connected properly or as they should be to have what is assembled before you. So it is made of parts, and the parts move, and the parts make sense, but the parts haven't been built together. They just seem to be parts.
Like they're not connected at like key junctures or anything like that. It just looks like a
not mechanically,
mass.
no. Yeah, it's held together in some way because it is the structure of this dragon, but it doesn't have like a ball and joint or whatever, like ball and socket joints. It doesn't have things along those lines. It'll have a shoulder, but how the shoulder is held together isn't, well, it's not tinker or engineering based.
Okay. So it's kind of a mass of parts in the shape of a dragon, not a built, constructed dragon.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. And it's just staring.
As far as you know, yes.
If it's not going to do anything, I'm just going to let the others sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it starts becoming hostile, obviously, then I'll want to do something about it. But
Okay, so you stare at it, it stares back at you. Mordecai, after a little while, it does begin moving, and as it's moving, you're seeing that, well, you already know it's disjointed in its own sort of odd fashion, but you're seeing it kind of somewhat collapse on itself. You're hearing parts rubbed together, and all of you in the cavern or in the carved out area ahead are hearing this. But you're hearing kind of metal and wood scraped together, and you're seeing Mordecai that the dragon is reshaping itself, and it's going. It seems to be like almost uncoiling from its shape into something that is longer.
all right, we need to move.
I was afraid of this, even though I was asleep.
Yeah, I start waking everybody up, making sure they're awake. Look, we gotta move. This thing is gonna come through this. It's reshaping.
I thought you said it was.
I thought so too,
I'll get up.
but it's
around the
reshaping
corner.
itself.
Jade looks back to Mordecai. We need to move.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Can't a girl get some bloody sleep?
Nope.
Hey,
Why do you run? rumble, rumble, the sounds of steam hissing, and also for Selene and Noralai, to its voice, you're hearing kind of a wide. Oh, bye, cat. Why do you run? As metal bits are clanking around in its mouth. Isn't this where you wanted to be?
Who are you?
I just wanted to fucking sleep, man. I'm so tired.
Who are you?
Jade, are you adding to this, or?
Nope, by all means, go ahead.
Okay. Jade opens her mouth to say something and immediately regrets that decision and ceases. All right. I am Orlons. I am the one responsible for this place.
Responsible how?
Look around you, little vampire.
Slay's just like, oh, I bloody knew it.
We're not here to hurt you.
Probably.
Yeah, don't
We're
look to
simply-
Jade on that comment.
We're simply looking for survivors of the mine. Do you know where they are?
Yes, I do. They are all around you, you see. You have seen the miners this whole time.
Do they
Do
live?
you happen to see a passed out called Snake?
They live. Though perhaps not as you would remember them.
Are they the bug people, or are they in the crystals?
Both, my little bright friend.
Hey, hi. How do you know our names? We don't know yours. Well, I guess we do now because you just told us. But before that, we didn't.
Your names? What do you mean?
You just called me Bright. Oh, was that a coincidence? I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Ah, you are a creature of both. Yes, well, it shows in your heritage, my little fey friend.
It's true. Thank you. So, fine yourself?
Did the miners volunteer for this?
No, they did not.
Then you have committed an act of hostility.
Perhaps, according to the laws of your people, we have.
These are the laws of the land. To live here, you must respect the laws of the land.
Must I? Must you, my little vampire?
All creatures.
The lands are now no longer what they once were. A new way, a new life is springing around us in Mesotopia.
You mean an old one?
Jade, as you say that, it looks over to you with its more narrow serpentine. It kind of like uncoils, and its neck, its body, the bulk of its body doesn't move, but its neck kind of creeps forward. Mordecai, so its head would be about where you are, even though its bulk is remaining behind. A great old one. Yes, those two are awakening in the lands. We are going to how the world once was, to how it should be.
Your time has passed. Your time was gone long ago. You're like a fly who's lived its purpose.
Please patiently insult it.
Oh, well, amusing coming from an agent of one so ancient, of how the lands used to be itself. Oh, if you question your service, perhaps I could help you fulfill the desires in your heart.
You speak in temptations, but that's not the way this goes. You know that.
I know a great many things, my dear little agent.
Will you leave this place?
After our work is done, I will move on to other locations, yes.
Who else is with you? Who's our work?
The others, like you, but of our kind. The Fae Court. Just as I'm sure you will find, after you manifest your own old gifts, that your kind of people have a similar arrangement.
You have broken the arrangement.
If that is your belief, please, my little vampire, you may show me the contract.
You don't belong here.
Doesn't belong.
This is the world of man.
Slinks forward. The world of man! No longer is it the... And at that, like, he even just sort of, like, looks away. And as it laughs and is also somewhat disgusted, like, you see its parts kind of puff up as it, well, kind of like you, Mordecai, you have to manually breathe. As it is sort of, like, huffing, and you swear you hear, like, bellows inside this thing's chest. And this odd kind of, like, squeaky, squishy sounding noise from all the like, scintillating blue goop over this thing as well. The age of man has run its course. It is time for the world to be restored to how it should be. Unlimited potential for our kind. Magic beyond what you could... beyond what you could ever consider. Possibilities. A life beyond life, not the mundane trudgings that you have encountered in your own bleak existences so far.
You're a broken thing, aren't you? That's why.
I have mending.
You're large, you're crafted, but ultimately you have nothing but spare parts. There's nothing to you. This is not truth. Look at you, your manifestation, broken pieces, no longer operating. The gears don't turn in you, not as they should.
That is true. There are gears, but none of the gears are turning.
Almost pitiable.
Okay. Apologies for that. Nature decided to, instead of call, scream in my face that I had to go. And then, once I get back, my internet decided to chuck a fit, and I had to restart my computer.
It's fine. I can see and hear you. You're back in the game.
Oh, I am now, yes.
Go back to the Feywild.
And do what?
Create your empire there. Or is that too boring for you?
You would be asking a fish to return to the sea in order to conquer it as its home. No. The world will return to how it should be. And I assure you there will be humans, for there were humans and humanity, and those, well, similar to the others that are present here. They have come back too. All is coming. All will return. It will be now as it once was.
Is anyone else sick of his blitherings?
This is
Well,
when
I think he's
Selene-
actually really interesting.
This is
Although
when
there's not
Selene is
before.
gonna pipe up.
I think he has a lot to tell us. I don't know why we need to be so confrontational. I don't think we're going to be best friends, but I think he can tell us a lot about why they're here and why they're coming. I think that's really interesting.
Why are you here then? You seem so keen on some sort of plan, but you haven't actually said anything about that. Do you actually have a plan?
Yes, I do. Your kind does. And Selene, with that and, his gaze falls upon you. Not your kind, but your kind have a plan to return as well. However, it would appear, and his eyes start swirling in multiple colors. It would appear that you have yet to find an allegiance in the way that the world will become. I can offer you such a gift. I sense a power in you.
Interesting point. Counteroffer. Why is it that both those who share allegiance with the Shadowfell and those who share allegiance with the Feywild seem to think that the prime material plane is their plaything? What makes you think you have any rights? What makes you think you have any footing? What makes you think that those who watch over us from outside won't see your little machination and decide to intervene?
We expect it. I would be surprised if it didn't happen. But they are not of a concern. You, in your brief, 100, maybe 200 years that you have existed, know nothing of how the world was, and how glorious, how magical it was.
No, I don't. But the thing is, that doesn't matter. Why? Because it was the past. You attempt to make it the future, but to me, all I am seeing is a Feywild and Shadowfell incursion.
Regression.
It says to me that you, whatever it is that you are an intruder.
We
Don't think of him.
kindly to intruders.
Don't think of him as an intruder. Think of it like this, okay? No. Listen. Hear me out. He wants to bring things back the way they are, but what he doesn't remember is that humans, they don't like to have their for them, and even the others that are like humans, the elves and the tieflings and all the others, they can't handle having their destinies decided for them. If you want to bring things back, you have to persuade the humans. You can't just come in and make them do what you want. It'll just be so much trouble for so long. So I think what you should do is you should let us go out, and we'll be like your test case, because we're half converted, but not the whole way. And as you can see with Mordecai, his body's converted, but his mind still isn't. And if you want to convert the whole world, you're going to have to persuade them. So we'll be like your guinea pigs. We'll be your experiment. You persuade us to turn to your way voluntarily, and then you'll know you'll be able to turn the whole world. But as long as we don't, then you know that whatever you do, you're doomed to fail.
Very well. Then, I presume one of you, the one of you who is not yet an agent of a faction in this war would love to step forward and be such a test case.
Well, I was only talking about the ones of us
Selene
that
just
are
raises her
halfway.
brow. Selene just raises her brow. It's like, you want to try and persuade me? Go right ahead. The amount
Also-
of done that Selene currently is.
Selene's
So
immune to everything, so you're only going to be able to tell her what to do. You can't actually like convert her by force because she's immune to everything.
So Selene, at your challenge or acceptance or a challenging acceptance or an accepting challenge, it shoots one of its mechanical claws forward out of its kind of like uncoiled snake form, and it does actually manage to miss you as it tries to grab you up.
In an aggressive posture?
Selene challenged it, and it responded. You take that however you want.
Question. Do you know what the word persuasion means? I don't think you do.
Oh, this is all going so wrong.
Like, I mean, you're not off this plane, but you know, as far as I'm aware, persuasion means using your words.
Very well. My words. And you see then, even in its snake form, those bellows on the inside, and the thing starts expanding until this blue like algae, this blue glittering algae is stretched, holding these components at its maximum. It rears back and opens its mouth, and I mean, it's a dragon. So,
Standing over here.
Selene, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Sure. Oh, that's not good.
You do not have trouble.
It's not
Okay.
immune of you.
So for Jade and Mordecai, and even it kind of like splatters and rebounds down the hallway, and it goos you also, Noralai. You get this blue, like if you saw Ghostbusters 2 and they had the pink goo, well, you've been splattered in blue goo.
Oh.
And Selene, as this thing just plasters you with blue goo, it is getting everywhere. Your nose, your mouth, your ears. It is coating you head to toe. And you're stunned, or like you're standing there and you're otherwise preoccupied. Is anyone doing anything in this?
Dinner first.
In the case of in the case of this?
What's our plan, guys?
My plan was to talk our way out of this, but I guess that wasn't your plan.
It's like, technically that was my plan.
It was my plan too, but it didn't seem to be going anywhere.
Wiping the stuff off. Oh, that's
Yeah.
It was
No,
looking
I'm
really well
also
for
gonna
me.
wipe
I
the
don't know
stuff.
why
I'm
you
also
guys
gonna
are
wipe
mean
the
to
stuff
him.
off me as well because that's just. But no, Selene is gonna say out loud. It's like, you could have at least taken me to dinner first. Jeez. She says that as she's wiping herself off.
So Selene, you're saying this and you're wiping yourself off in your own mind. Physically, you're just standing there.
The others all paralyzed, or is it just Selene?
Selene is the only one who seems to be paralyzed by this goo. Now, I mean, Jade and Mordecai are covered in this blue stuff, and even Noralai back in the cavern ends up getting some on her borrowed miner's gear. Noralai, nothing happens to you.
Yeah.
Now.
I'll prestidigitate to help clean up the goo.
Cease! Let it take effect.
I don't think I can do that. I have to keep
Nope.
cleaning it.
Fairy fire.
Okay.
I'm casting
Fairy
fairy
fire's
fire.
not gonna do anything!
No,
Why?
it'll give advantage on attacks if you want to attack it.
I can't, I'm paralyzed!
I plan on
Still
doing
cleaning goo. As quick as I can clean goo.
Mordecai, are you casting?
Yeah,
All right.
casting it on him.
Spell a dexterity save. Okay.
Yep.
Hey. See, it wasn't wisdom.
Hey, I got something.
So that's fine. You cast Fairy Fire, and as you do, the magic does make all of this blue algae like glow, and you're even seeing it kind of scintillate, like little like sparkles seem to be just emanating from this, and the creature
Glitter
takes the yeah, glitter bomb. The creature doesn't notice, doesn't care, anything along those lines. It seems quite neutral towards your actions.
What are we doing?
Well, I can't do very much at all.
I know you can.
I suggest this is the point where you begin to run.
On it.
Norlai shouts from the hallway.
Ah, yes, running, because that's a thing that I totally can't do right now.
Correct. Selene cannot move on her own accord right now, as she's paralyzed by blue goo.
Mordecai, can you pick Selene up?
I'll try and grab her.
Okay.
Fireman lift.
Will assist.
Jade's assisting. Okay, so the two of you are gonna kind of hup out of there.
Well, I imagine like Mordecai reaches one arm underneath one of Selene's arm, Jade's on the other, is just side by side.
Okay.
Up and run.
Bright, what are you doing? Okay. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, as you all are running out, its body, it will crash into the cavern here, but you can hear it starting to scrape and splorch and shift as it's trying to get into a position where it can follow you back through the tunnel. So it's scraping and making all kinds of goo sounds right here as you're beating a hasty retreat. Now I got to get up and I got to take a quick break. So if any of you need to use the restroom, get a snack. This is going to be a good point. And when we come back, the chase is on, I guess. As things are, yeah. Well, Norlai still apparently has a snake around somewhere too, along with all her stuff. So we will be back shortly.
The snake.
I have 146. Maybe is a 10-minute break good, or do you guys want to try and get back to it sooner?
I got some soup to get
Up
up.
to you.
Okay,
I'll be back as soon as I'm done.
sure. At least I'll need at least 5 minutes. It might take a little longer, but we'll go from here.